In Tom Crumb's book, there's a story he has that I love, where a group of kids, being kids, decided they were going to torment their teacher a little bit. So they plotted this thing out in the play yard during their break. Don't ever do this to me. This is not idea giving time. But they went outside and they decided when they came back in, while she was writing on the board, they would all take their big textbooks and drop them on the floor at the same time. And that would get her goat, you know. So they all went in and they waited until she was out writing, and they all took their books and bam! She just kept writing for a while, finished the sentence, went over to her desk, grabbed her big book, went bam, and said, "I'm sorry I'm late." So the same behavior was in the same place. She did a meaning reframe, didn't she? She connected with them instead of separated from them. I was in downtown. I'd been to a play with some friends, and at the Denver Center for Performing Arts, and they have a huge parking structure, many layers, and it was late at night because we'd gone to the play, then we'd gone to a local restaurant afterwards to have dinner and drinks. It was very late by the time I went to my car, and there were very few cars left. There was one car with a bunch of young people around that I could have assigned the meaning thugs to. And they were drinking. And they were rowdy. So here is a middle-aged woman in dress-up garb and high heels walking toward her car. Now I could have assigned meaning that this was a dangerous situation. And had I assigned that meaning, how might I have behaved? Tense, frightened. I might have cowered a little bit, and I might have gotten, well, I know the internal response I would have gotten would have been fear. The external response is I could have invited them to then come at me. So something happened in my head, which often does, and I thought of it as, oh, a party. So as I walked toward my car and they saw me, I went, hey, you know, having a good time. And I mimicked, in general, their patterns. And they lit up. And I was fine. Got in my car and walked away. How did I interpret what was going on? And that is a meaning reframe. Okay? What it means. So,
there is, though, when you said that story, there is other situations, and I remember distinctly a parking lot and an afternoon lunch situation, and normally I'm very friendly, but this person kept coming at me, wanting to talk to me. I just need to ask you something. And he kept walking toward me and walking toward me, and there was just this gut instinct. I looked in my eyes and I thought, if I let this guy anywhere near me, I will be dead.
Right. And what did you do?
He tried to block the driveway when I got in. I didn't speed up until I got the car when it was really kicking in. And I thought, I'm getting in the car, I'm turning on the ignition, I'm pulling the car out, and he even tried to stop me as I'm pulling out of the driveway.
Then you don't want to reframe me.
And normally, I don't know what it was about that one situation because I've had it. Well, it was just a gut instinct kind of thing. There was something about his eyes, and he kept moving toward me and saying, I just want to talk to you. And there was an incongruence, I guess.
That's right.
About it, that if he wanted to just talk to me, he could have stood still.
Right.
But he kept moving toward me.
Right.
With his hands going like this. And there was something about it. But I know I would have been a statistic in the Dallas Morning News. I mean,
That's
I know.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Clearly, I would be dead.
So we don't want to change meaning, reframe meaning all the time. And your ability to pick up on those cues let you know what was appropriate in that situation. Yeah.
Isn't it also because he said, I just want to talk to you? If he really just wanted to talk to her, why did he feel like he had to say he just wanted to talk to her?
Exactly. It's like when someone says, I just want you to trust me.
Right.
You can trust me today.
Right, yeah. This time you can trust me. So yeah, you don't want to always, but that's a good story. So if you look at what you've already learned, all the sensory cues were there. You paid attention to them in your gut. See, whenever you have a gut feeling, one of the things I immediately do are, what are all the signs I'm getting here? Because that helps me analyze the situation.
But there was something about the signs you're getting, and I've been in that situation too, where it kind of looks scary, but
well, and it's a choice point.
Uh-huh.
It's a choice point. It could have gotten scary by my response. In your situation, had you been friendly, it could have gotten worse. And you knew that. You knew it. So, yes.
That same thing happened to me once when I was in college with a taxi cab driver. And I wanted to run, but there was something about that driver. And I walked with my bags all the way home. And it turned out, I read in the paper later that there had been a taxi cab driver that had murdered somebody. And I thought, I know it's that one.
Yeah, could have been. Could have been.
Yeah.
Could have very well been.
Yeah, so it was wild.
Yeah. So it's pay attention. Again, meaning is the interpretation you put on a behavior, which then, of course, directs your response. That wouldn't have been useful in your case had you thought, well, he really is friendly, and I'll just move toward him. You could have been dead.
And that was interesting because normally I would have, there was that moment that I stopped and thought, wait a minute, this is the back of the, but there was just something, and then the more there was something there, the more it kept escalating on his end of things, and
Why might a meaning reframe be useful? I'm going to let you find that out, okay? All right. Here's what I want you to do. In threes again, let's do a new group. New group. In threes, A is going to talk about something that drives them crazy that someone else does. All right? And how it always makes them feel. All right? So, B and C are going to observe the cues, and only in one sentence, 2 maximum. Don't want a lot of explanation. Okay? No explanation. Just short term, and I'll demonstrate here in a minute. B and C observe the cues and then give a new meaning to it. First one and then the other, to see which one causes a shift. Okay? So, I'm not going to demonstrate. I don't want to take time because we're looking at time constraints here. But I would like an example of a meaning, something, so that you understand the kinds of things you'll be addressing. So someone have an example they'd like to throw out as possibility. Yes?
My daughter procrastinates and it irritates me.
Okay, my daughter procrastinates and it irritates me. That's a good one. That's a good one. So she does something and you interpret it in such a way that it irritates you. All right, so your job with him, if you're a B and C, is to put meaning to her procrastinating in a way that would cause him to have a different response. So I might, well, we'll discuss it afterwards. So is it clear as to what you were doing?
You have to know the meaning that he puts to it.
Well, the fact that it's irritating means something. You might ask him, so what does that mean to you? But I'd be careful about that. I wouldn't go into that. I would just mind read what meaning he gives to it and give it something else. And the one that causes the shift is the one he'll walk into. Okay? So then you can say, the one he walks into, you can take it this other step is future pace it. So if you were to begin, Ken, to have this new response, given your new meaning of it, how might that work between you? You're also checking ecology and future pacing it. Okay? Questions? Please ask questions now. And if they come up during your exercise, we have our wonderful coaches who are setting time now, and we shall do it. We shall give this 20 minutes, 7 minutes each time. Keep it brief. Go have fun. First, there's a dead tree out there, still standing, and it's all dried up. It's a pine tree, dead tree, and so sad, so sad. Dead tree interpretation, or yay, firewood!
Giving life to nature.
Yeah, or
Life cycle, whatever.
Right.
I mean, the environment, yeah.
right. Oh, there's the life cycle. So all of this is meaning reframe, isn't it? Okay. The other thing, I was sitting out here, and the little mouse. Somebody was saying the little, and he came out. He's so cute, cute little tiny mouse, and he looked up at me. Now, if my mother had seen him, she'd have jumped 300 feet, backwards, because she put into the dead tree. Oh, that's good. In fact, when we were little and moved into the first house we bought in Colorado, it was out in the suburbs, and of course, the first winter, all the mice came in. Oh, nice warm home. And we used to, our house was such a way that we didn't have a lot of cabinet space yet, and Mom would store the pots and pans in the oven. And one day we all came home from school and work, and she bent down to open the oven to get a pan, and all of a sudden she goes, ah! And she's up on top of the stove like this. Well, there was a little mouse sitting right in the middle of the thing. So, but my reaction, I noticed my reaction was, well, hi there, how are you? It's a different meaning. It meant something different from me. Hi, how are you? So that can really, yeah.
Just reminded me, I was a camp counselor when I was a college student. One of the kids was scared of the dark, and there was this little scratching noise.
Right.
And I went with her to help, I went and helped her find out what it was, because it turned out it was a little mouse that was in a can that was trying to get out of the can that was filled with water.
Oh.
So then we let the mouse go, and the noise was very different when she knew that it was.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it's from something scary to, maybe something to be helped.
Yeah.
Great. That's a great meaning reframe.
I saw a movie once with an Irish wake where the casket is upright and the person's like in the, and they're all like drinking and celebrating the life that they shared together rather than the death. They're so sad about the death, but just the life that he had.
Right.
Yeah.
Total different meaning. And of course the other one to me is, that's scary. That'd be another meaning. Yeah. So, we have an opportunity, and one way in which this is really useful is if you're in a situation where someone criticizes you and you take it as, ooh, something's defective with me. What if you did a meaning reframe and you assumed positive intention instead of they were trying to get you, and you said, so criticize me, just say something, anything.
Jan, you're long-winded. I'd really like to get out.
Ow! Say it again.
Jan, you're long-winded. I'd really like to get out of here. Or should I leave that on?
No, go ahead.
I'd really like to get out of here.
Thank you so much for giving me that feedback. I know you really want to help me become even better and better at what I'm doing. So I'll go on and on and on about how wonderful you are at doing it. But see, the meaning, so first meaning is, oh, he's trying to hurt me or whatever. The second is, he's trying to help me. Thank you so much. Same thing, yeah.
I've got a concrete example. Yesterday I was in the church, and after the church, I know this man little bit cannot hear. And of course my accent is Indian accent, and they cannot, and I'm using Swahili all the time, so I cannot reach to people I know. But I said a small crowd, I was using always my low voice, not to use authority voice. So this man comes, Father, I don't know what you are saying, since I cannot hear what you are saying. I said, thanks Jack, I never knew that you cannot hear.
Oh.
He said, thanks very much, it's an opportunity for me. Maybe I use mic or I speak louder today, tomorrow. And today he came after me and said, this is the first time I hear your homily correctly, he said. And I'm sorry if I offended you.